looks like the filler is finally over of this week of One Piece. It manages to show the starting point of Dressrosa arc, and I like the way they started off and the way they cliffhangered this episode. I am disappointed about one thing though, and it's just me as a reviewer, because now that I know that this filler only lasted like 3 weeks, we're not going to really have any better pacing compared to the last 2 arcs of Fishman Island and Punk Hazard, so it's probably going to be another slow-paced arc, which upsets me, yes, but I guess I still am going to love Dressrosa arc because for what it is and how epic it's going to be. Now let's actually talk about this episode. For one, this episode did have the right key moments, and it did a good job of, I guess, concluding this episode, and they managed to actually flow and fit in the way the filler ended with how the next arc starts, so they did a good job there. That was a good job of integrating the arcs together, especially a filler arc with an actual really important arc. So, all in all, the animation quality of this episode, was it good for a One Piece episode? Well, yes, the One Piece animation quality of this episode was good, but it was average One Piece animation, so nothing really spectacular about it. Was there any good actual fights in this episode? Really, there wasn't much fights to really count besides one-hit punches, but really there was nothing interesting about fights this episode. Now, was the music good? Yes, the music actually was good in this episode. The ending song, the way they concluded this episode with it just looking over to the horizon into, I guess, you know, just a nice good setting with the sun setting or coming up, and you just see the Dugong and all his sea monsters, pirate crew just going off into the distance. It really added a nice good feel and conclusion to that arc, and that's something One Piece arcs really managed to do well. So, I will say, for a filler arc, they did a good job of concluding it. Now, the entire part about the Peto Peto fruit, was it really interesting? It was an interesting ability, but it could have been used a lot better, and it could have been, you know, less cliche. And it, honestly, the main villain in the end was just a stupid villain we have seen over and over in other shows, and he didn't have really any major motives that made me really care about his villain status. I mean, he hates all humans, he thinks all humans are worthless, and all pets are worthless now at the end of this filler arc, and he just wants to kill everybody. Now, honestly, that's not a villain I can really have sympathy for or pity for. I mean, I was actually going to probably gain some form of connection with him as a villain if he would have actually continued on with his back past story with all his pirate crew members saying he's like worthless or whatever, or stupid. And that would have had more impact as a character, but they didn't manage to actually flow with that well enough, and so I didn't really care it all in all in the end. This filler wasn't the best filler of One Piece. Honestly, I enjoyed aspects of this filler. I'm happy we got to see the Dugong again, but it wasn't that enjoyable. I wish they would have done a lot better. If they would have focused this filler a little bit longer, maybe, to actually help out the next arc, but at the same time made it more, I guess, in-depth with the villain and make us understand him, I would have said this filler would have been a lot more enjoyable. Now, if I had to rate this arc, this 3-episode arc, which is a very fast-paced arc if we think about it, I'm going to have to give this arc maybe a 6.5 out of 10. It was okay. It was just, yeah, like I said, no. Now, everybody, tell me what you think about this arc personally. Did you enjoy it? Did you think it was good? Yes, it was One Piece, as we all know and love, and it was good. But tell me your honest opinions. Did you enjoy this, or am I missing something about this arc that was just, you know, something epic about it that I just, you know, missed? Let me know in the comments below, because I'm curious about that. And tell me what your thoughts are when we're finally getting into the Dressrosa arc. Are you interested as much as me? And how do you think they're going to handle the upcoming arc? Y'all have a wonderful day or night wherever you live. Please stay safe. Chibi out.